A 3-second radio exchange explains more about Kyle Larson's season than the finishing order does. He had just been squeezed into a wall. He had just collected his own teammate. And when his spotter told him what happened, he didn't argue. He did something colder. What did Larson actually say? And was he right to say it? Before we get to what he said on that radio, I want you to guess. Do you think Kyle Larson was fair to fire back at John Hunter Nemechek, or was he out of line? Drop your answer in the comments, because by the end of this you might change your mind. At Iowa Speedway on Saturday, Larson drew the 7th spot in qualifying, a tough draw on an ungripped short oval. Instead of losing spots like most early session drivers, he put the number 5 Chevrolet on the provisional pole and held it until the very end. Only Ryan Blaney beat him, and only in the closing moments, leaving Larson starting second on the front row. Before the race, both Larson and crew chief Cliff Daniels told USA Sports Broadcast separately that the car had a balance issue neither of them could identify. Ryan Blaney led all 70 laps of Stage 1. Larson crossed the stage line third, right behind Joey Logano, and ran mid-pack, 5th through 10th, all afternoon. If you were watching live, would you have seen this crash coming? Let me know if you caught the warning signs before I tell you what happened next. On lap 4, Tyler Reddick slid in turn 1, collected Eric Jones, and hit the wall. Both were done for the day. Reddick took full blame afterward, calling the day gut-wrenching on a lot of levels. He has now posted 4 finishes of 30th or worse in his last 6 races, after winning the first 3 races of the season. Shane Van Gisbergen spun through turns 3 and 4 on lap 91, dropping outside the top 30. On the restart, Ricky Stenhouse Jr. got caught in a 4-wide entry. Michael McDowell slid up, and Stenhouse backed the number 47 into the fence. Carson Hocevar fought mechanical trouble almost from green and spun on lap 140. Under that caution, Bubba Wallace, who was leading, was penalized for speeding on pit road and dropped to the back. Chase Elliott suffered a botched stop, a stuck lug nut, with the jackman dropping the car anyway, and fell to the rear with fender damage. Which of these smaller wrecks mattered most? Stick around, because the next restart is where everything changes. The field restarted on lap 148. The restart lasted exactly 1 lap. Coming through turns 3 and 4, John Hunter Nemechek got into Larson and shoved the number 5 up the racetrack. Larson corrected, and as he came back down toward the racing line, Riley Herbst was already underneath him. That made it 4 cars wide on a track measuring under 9/10 of a mile. Larson was pinned to the outside wall, with his own Hendrick Motorsports teammate Alex Bowman to his inside, while Herbst and Ryan Preece were stacked alongside them. Larson was squeezed into the fence and made contact with Bowman. Both Hendrick cars took heavy damage in a single hit. Bowman's number 48 was hurt badly enough that the team pushed it behind the wall. "We're destroyed," Bowman said on his radio. Larson initially believed his own car was okay, but he had broken a right rear toe link, and the crew spent multiple laps repairing it under caution. When he returned to the track, he was 3 laps down. How would you have reacted? Because Larson's reaction is coming up next, and it's not what you'd expect. Before Larson even came down pit road under caution, he pulled the damaged number 5 alongside Nemechek's car and made his feelings clear without saying a word. The anger was visible before it was verbal. What do you think that gesture looked like? Comment your guess below, because the actual radio audio is even colder. Before we get to that radio exchange, this is NASCAR Trackline TV, and we're closing in on 1,500 subscribers. If you're enjoying this breakdown, hit subscribe, drop a like, and leave a comment. It genuinely helps this channel grow and keeps breakdowns like this one coming. 2 reporters relayed the exchange, Jeff Gluck of The Athletic and Steven Taranto. According to their reporting, Larson asked his spotter, did someone jam it in on him or could he not hold it down like normal? That is not really a question. It's an accusation with a question mark attached to it. His spotter relayed the explanation from Nemechek's own team, Legacy Motor Club. Nemechek had downshifted, and the car got stuck in neutral. Larson did not accept it. His reply, yeah, cool, professional. No shouting, no profanity. 4 or 5 flat words aimed directly at another driver's competence. Nemechek's own radio to his team, reported identically, said, I got stuck in neutral when I tried to downshift. Both accounts match. One driver says the car broke. The other says the explanation isn't good enough. Jeff Gluck wrote, did someone jam it in on him, or could he not hold it down like normal? Bob Pockrass noted that Larson asked if Nemechek couldn't hold it down like normal. Nemechek said he got stuck in neutral. Steven Taranto shared that Kyle Larson said, yeah, cool, professional. John Hunter Nemechek himself said, I got stuck in neutral when I tried to downshift. Who do you believe here? Was Nemechek telling the truth? Or was Larson right not to buy it? Type Nemechek or Larson in the comments. I want to see which side wins. Larson finished 33rd, 18 laps behind the leaders. Bowman finished 34th. William Byron was the only Hendrick Motorsports driver to salvage a top 10, finishing 9th. Chase Elliott ended up 15th. Nemechek, meanwhile, finished 19th, essentially unaffected by the incident he was part of. 2 races ago, Larson was 6th in the standings. After Iowa, he sits 10th, 294 points behind leader Denny Hamlin. At what point does this stop being bad luck and start being a real problem for Hendrick Motorsports? Larson has not won a Cup Series race since spring 2025. The streak now sits at 47 races. Across an earlier 31-race winless stretch, he recorded 0 wins, 8 top 5s, 17 top 10s, 417 laps led, and 0 poles. In the stretch immediately before the drought began, he posted 6 wins, 16 top 5s, 19 top 10s, 1,762 laps led, and 2 poles. Larson finished 34th in Iowa Speedway's inaugural Cup race, 28th the year after, and now 33rd. A 2-time champion, 47 races without a win, and a track that seems to hate him specifically. Do you think Kyle Larson still wins another race this season? Or is this slide the new normal for him? Comment yes or no. On Saturday, before any of this happened, Larson was asked about NASCAR's new caution rule changes, and backed them without softening his language, describing the frustration of drawing a caution near a stage's end, sitting through the caution period, running a 1-lap shootout, then wading through stage procedures. His words, so it's just like roll on with it. Does that change how you read his reaction to Nemechek? Let me know. Larson has raced since 2013. At 34 years old, he's won 3 Knoxville Nationals, 3 Chili Bowls, and a King's Royal in sprint cars. He previously said he was interested in leaving Cup racing to pursue sprint cars full-time, and now holds a different view. His own words, I started saying this last year, but 40 is my next milestone. He said he wants to reach that point and then evaluate whether to continue, with the decision depending on where his children are in their own lives and interests. He also said he isn't currently drawn to committing to an 80 to 90 race schedule, though he acknowledged things could change 6 or 7 years from now. 2 more short tracks are coming, Richmond and New Hampshire, neither historically kind to the number 5 team, with the playoffs approaching fast. Larson will also run the Knoxville Nationals Thursday prelim this week, skipping the Saturday feature because of the Richmond date. So here's where it's left. A 2-time champion, 47 races without a win, a teammate's car destroyed beside him, and a rival who says it was just bad luck. Was John Hunter Nemechek's stuck gearbox a fair explanation? Or was Kyle Larson right to answer it with 4 cold words? Tell me your verdict in the comments before you go. If you enjoy real NASCAR breakdowns like this, you'll like what's coming next. Comment your take below and share this video with another NASCAR fan who needs to see it.